The clock on the factory wall ticks like it's mocking me. Tick, 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 each one a jab at my chest, counting down the hours to freedom. I'm Jack, 58 years old, with hands rough as sandpaper and a back that creaks like the old machines I've tended for 29 years at Carver Industries. Tomorrow's the day. My retirement benefits kick in, a pension I've bled for, a promise to my wife Mary for a life we've dreamed about. A little house by Lakeview, fishing at dawn, her laughing without that worry line creasing her forehead. I wipe grease from my fingers, the smell of oil clinging to me like a second skin, and smile. One more shift, one more day. I'm at my station, tweaking a conveyor belt that's been jamming all week. The factory's a beast. Clanging steel, hissing steam, a maze of pipes and belts that churn out parts for cars nobody in this town can afford. I know every inch of this place, every quirk of the machines. I've trained kids half my age, fixed, breakdowns in the dead of night, and never once called in sick. 29 years. That's 10,585 days of showing up, of believing Carver's promises. Work hard, Jack, they'd say. You'll be taken care of. I believed them. Fool that I was. It's late afternoon, the light slanting through the grimy windows, when my supervisor, Eddie, taps my shoulder. Mr. Carver wants you in his office. Now. His voice is flat, his eyes avoiding mine. My stomach twists. Eddie's. Been here almost as long as me. He's not the type to look away. I set down my wrench, the metal clinking against the workbench, and follow him. The factory floor hums around me, but it feels distant, like I'm walking underwater. Carver's office is on the top floor, all glass and polished wood, a world away from the grit I live in. What does the CEO want with me, the day before I retire? The elevator ride is silent. Eddie stares at the floor, his jaw tight. Everything okay, Ed? I ask, my voice rougher than I mean it to be. He just nods, quick and sharp, like he's afraid to speak. The doors open, and I step into Carver's office. It's cold, the kind of cold that sinks into your bones. Robert Carver sits behind his desk, a man with a smile like a snake's and eyes that don't blink enough. His suit probably costs more than my truck. Papers are stacked neatly in front of him, and he's tapping a pen, slow and deliberate. Jack, he says, not looking up. Sit down. I sit, my work boots scuffing the pristine floor. My heart's pounding now, a drumbeat I can't ignore. What's this about, Mr. Carver? I ask, keeping my voice steady. He finally looks at me, and there's something in his eyes, something sharp, like he's sizing up a deer before the shot. Jack, I'm afraid we're letting you go, he says, calm as if he's ordering coffee. Budget cuts. Effective. Immediately. You'll get a week's severance, but that's it. The words hit like a punch. Fired after 29 years. I lean forward, my hands gripping the chair. But my pension, it starts tomorrow. I've earned it. 29 years, sir. Carver shrugs, his lips curling into a smirk that makes my blood boil. That's life, Jack. Sometimes things don't work out. Clear your locker by end of shift. He goes back to his papers, like I'm already gone. I want to scream, to flip his desk, to demand answers, but my throat's tight, my legs heavy. I stand, the room spinning, and walk out. The door clicks shut behind me, and I'm alone in the hallway, the betrayal sinking in like poison. They've stolen my future, my promise to Mary, everything. I don't remember walking back to the factory floor. The noise is deafening now. The machine's screaming what I can't. Eddie tries to say something, but I wave him off. I grab my toolbox, my hands shaking, and head to my locker. Guys on the line glance at me, then look away quick. They know. Word spreads fast here. I stuff my things into a duffel, photos of Mary, a coffee mug, my old work gloves, and slam. The locker shut. The clang echoes, final. I'm out the door before anyone can say goodbye. Driving home, the road blurs. Not from tears, I'm too angry for that, but from the weight of it all. Mary's waiting, probably setting the table for dinner, humming like she does when she's happy. How do I tell her? How do I say I've got nothing left to give her? The house comes into view. A small brick place we've lived in for 25 years. Every crack in the wall's a story of us. I park, my hands gripping the wheel, and sit there, the engine ticking as it cools. That's when it hits me, a memory faint but sharp. Years ago, I kept some old company files. Boxes I was supposed to shred, but didn't. They're in the garage, buried under junk. Something about those files tugs at me, a thread I can't quite pull. What if there's something in them, something Carver doesn't want me to see? I slip into the house quiet, not ready to face Mary. She's in the kitchen, stirring something that smells like home. Stew, maybe. "Jack! You're early!" she calls, her voice light. I force a smile, mumble something about a short shift, and head to the garage. My heart's racing now, not from anger, but from a flicker of hope. The garage is a mess, tools, paint cans, boxes stacked like a maze. I dig, the dust making me cough, until I find them, 3 cardboard boxes, taped, shut, labeled Carver Records, 2005-2010. My hands tremble as I slice one open. Inside are files, yellowed and forgotten. Ledgers, memos, emails printed out. I scan a page and my breath catches. Numbers, big ones. Transfers to places I've never heard of. Grand Cayman, Zurich, names I know. Carver, his CFO, some board. Members, this isn't right, this is fraud. I sit back on my heels, the papers in my lap. The garage is dark now, the only light from a flickering bulb overhead. My mind races. Carver fired me to keep me quiet, didn't he? He knew I was close to retiring, close to looking at my benefits, maybe asking questions. These files, they're a bomb, and I'm holding the fuse. But what do I do with it? Go to the cops, the press? Carver's got money, lawyers, power. I'm just Jack, the guy who fixes machines. But I'm not done yet. Not by a long shot. The garage light buzzes above me, a sickly yellow glow that makes the shadows dance. It's past midnight, and I'm hunched over a box of Carver Industries files, my fingers smudged with dust and ink. Mary's asleep upstairs, her soft snores drifting through the house. But I can't rest. Not after today, not after Carver's smirk, his cold, "That's life, Jack," as he stole my pension, my 29 years, my promise to Mary. My hands shake as I flip through papers, each one a piece of a puzzle I don't yet understand. But I feel it, a fire in my gut, half fear, half fury. He didn't just fire me, he betrayed me, and I'm not letting him win. The files are a mess, ledgers, memos, emails printed out like they were rushed. I squint at a page, my eyes burning from lack of sleep. It's a ledger from 2007, numbers scrawled in tight rows. Payments to something called Blue Horizon Limited, hundreds of thousands, wired to a bank in the Cayman Islands. I don't know much about finance, but I know enough to smell a rat. Carver's name is on it, signed in his sharp, looping scrawl. I find another document, an invoice for machine parts we never ordered, paid to a company that doesn't exist. My heart thumps louder than the clock in the factory ever did. This isn't a mistake. It's a scheme. Millions, maybe more, siphoned off while guys like me slaved on the floor. I lean back against a stack of boxes, my breath short. The garage feels too small, the walls closing in. What am I supposed to do with this? Go to the cops, the feds? Carver's not just my boss. He's got half the town in his pocket. Cops drink coffee at his diner. The mayor shakes his hand at every ribbon cutting. If I speak up, I'm not just risking my job. I'm risking everything. Mary's safety, our home. But if I do nothing, what then? We lose the lake house dream, scrape by on nothing while Carver laughs from his mansion. The thought of his smirk lights that fire in me again, hotter now. I'm not done. Not yet. I need help, someone who knows the law. That's when I think of Tom. Tom Harper, my buddy from high school, now a lawyer downtown. He owes me years. ago I covered for him when he got caught sneaking beers into a football game. He's small time, handles divorces and DUIs, but he's sharp. I dig out my old phone book, the pages crinkled, and find his number. It's 1 a.m., but I call anyway. He picks up on the third ring, voice groggy. "Jack, you okay?" It's the middle of the damn night. I keep it vague, my voice low. "Tom, I need to talk, something big. Can we meet tomorrow?" He hesitates, and that pause makes my stomach twist. "Yeah, sure," he says finally. "Coffee shop on Main, 10 a.m. "What's this about?" I don't tell him, not yet. "Just be there," I say and hang up. Back to the files. I work until dawn, sorting papers into piles on the garage floor. More fake invoices, more transfers to offshore accounts. One memo mentions regulatory. Compliance, code for bribes, I'm sure of it. Carver's empire is rotten, built on lies while I fixed his machines and trusted his promises. By the time the sky turns pink, I've got a stack of damning evidence, but it's not enough. I need to know how deep this goes. I need to be sure. I stuff the papers into a metal lockbox, the kind Mary keeps her grandma's jewelry in. I pry. Up a floorboard in the corner of the garage, the wood splintering under my crowbar, and hide the box there. If Carver's watching, he won't find it. Morning comes too fast. Mary's in the kitchen, pouring coffee, her smile fading when she sees my face. "Jack, you look like death. Were you up all night?" Her voice is soft, worried. I hate lying to her, but I can't drag her into this. Not until I know it's safe. "Just couldn't sleep," I mumble, grabbing a mug, thinking about the job. Her eyes search mine, and I look away, guilt twisting like a knife. She doesn't push, just squeezes my hand. "We'll figure it out," she says. I nod, but my mind's racing. Carver's betrayal feels personal now, like he's spitting on my life's work. I won't let him. At the coffee shop, Tom's waiting in a booth, his tie loose, hair grayer than I remember. He's got that same easy grin from high school, but it falters when he sees me. "Jesus, Jack, you look rough. What's going on?" I slide into the booth, keeping my voice low. The place is half empty, just a waitress wiping tables and an old guy reading a paper. I tell Tom everything, Carver firing me, the files, the fraud. His eyes widen, then narrow. "You're sure about this?" he asks, leaning forward. "You've got proof?" I nod, my jaw tight. "Enough to bury him." Tom leans back, rubbing his face. "Whistleblowers, Jack. They get crushed. Carver's got lawyers, connections. You need to be smart or you're screwed." His hesitation makes me uneasy. Is he scared or is he hiding something? I leave the coffee shop with a plan. Tom will look into whistleblower protections, see if he can find a contact at the SEC. But as I walk to my truck, I notice a black sedan across the street, engine idling. The windows are tinted, too dark. To see inside. My skin prickles. I've seen that car before, haven't I? Parked near our house last night, maybe? I shake it off. Tell myself I'm paranoid, but my heart's racing as I drive home. Every rear-view glance checks for that sedan. It's not there, but the feeling stays. That night, I'm back in the garage, the lockbox open. I'm cross-referencing. Names from the files with old company directories. The CFO, Janet Pierce, signed off on half the transfers. The board's in on it too. I'm so deep in it I don't hear the creak at first. A floorboard in the house. My head snaps up. Mary's asleep, isn't she? I grab a wrench, my pulse hammering, and creep to the door. The house is dark, silent. Nothing. But when I step outside to check the yard, I see it. The black sedan, parked 2 houses down, no lights. My mouth goes dry. They're watching me. Carver knows. I don't sleep. I sit by the window, curtains cracked, watching the street. The sedan's gone by. Morning, but I'm not fooled. Every noise, a branch snapping, a dog barking, makes me jump. I'm in over my head, but there's no going back. Carver took my future, laughed at my life's work. I'll be damned if I let him get away with it. Tomorrow I'll dig deeper. Tomorrow I'll fight. The garage is my war room now, a battlefield of papers and shadows. It's been 3 days since I found those files. 3 days since Carver's betrayal lit a fire in me. I'm hunched over the lockbox, the metal cold under my fingers, pulling out another stack of Carver Industries secrets. The clock on the wall says 2:47 a.m., but sleeps a stranger. Mary's upstairs, lost in dreams I can't share. My eyes burn as I scan a ledger, cross-referencing it with a website I found, some public database of corporate filings. The numbers don't lie. Millions funneled through shell companies, names like Blue Horizon and Silver Crest, all tied to Carver. Fake invoices for parts we never bought, payments to regulators who looked the other way. It's a house of cards, and I'm holding the match. I scribble notes on a legal pad, my handwriting shaky. Every page I turn reveals more. Carver's signature, his CFO Janet Pierce's initials, even board members' names I've seen at company picnics. They're all in on it. My heart's pounding, not just from coffee, but from the weight of what I've found. This isn't just about my pension anymore. Carver's empire is a lie, built on stolen money while guys like me worked ourselves to the bone. But knowing the truth isn't enough. I need someone to shout it, someone with a megaphone. That's when I think of Sarah. Sarah Malone's a journalist, writes for a small paper an hour out of town. I met her years ago when she did a piece on the factory's safety record. She's young, hungry, with a knack for sniffing out dirt. I find her number in an old email, my fingers hovering over the phone. What if she's in Carver's pocket too? I shake off the thought. Paranoia's creeping in, but I can't stop now. I call her at dawn, keeping my voice low so Mary doesn't hear. Sarah, it's Jack from Carver Industries. I've got something you'll want to see. Can we meet? She pauses, her breath sharp. What kind of something? She asks. Big, I say, but not here, somewhere quiet. We settle on a diner in Millwood, 40 miles away, far from Carver's reach. I hope. The drive to Millwood is a blur. My truck rattles, the engine coughing, like it feels my nerves. I keep checking the rear view, half expecting that black sedan from last night. It's not there, but my skin prickles anyway. The diner's a run-down joint, neon sign flickering, open, parking lot empty except for a rusted pickup. Inside, Sarah's in a corner booth, her red hair tucked under a cap, a notebook open in front of her. She looks up, her eyes sharp but wary. "Jack," she says, nodding, "you look like hell." I slide in across from her, my duffel bag heavy with photocopied files. "Feel like it too," I mutter. I don't waste time. I push the stack of papers across the table, keeping my voice low. Carver's stealing millions. Shell companies, bribes, the works. It's all here. Her eyes widen as she flips through the pages, her fingers lingering on Carver's signature. "Jesus, Jack," she whispers, "this is huge, but it's dangerous. Carver's got friends, cops, politicians, maybe worse." Her voice drops lower. "People who'd do anything to keep this quiet." My stomach twists. Worse? Like what? I don't ask, but her words stick sharp as a blade. "Can you use it?" I ask. She nods, slow. "I can, but we need more. Digital records, emails, something they can't deny." I lean back, my head spinning. More. Always more. I leave. The diner with a plan. Sarah'll start digging, but I need to find those digital records. Back home, I'm jumpy. Every car on the street looking like that black sedan. Mary's at the grocery store, so I pull up the floorboard in the garage, checking the lockbox. It's still there, untouched, but I can't shake the feeling I'm being watched. That night, I'm up late again, searching online for anything on Blue Horizon. I find a thread on a shady forum. Some guy claiming it's a front for money laundering. My heart skips. If that's true, Carver's not just a crook. He's in deep with people who don't play nice. Then it happens. I'm in the kitchen grabbing a beer when I hear it. A crash from the garage. My blood runs cold. I grab a flashlight. And the wrench from the counter, my pulse hammering in my ears. The back door's ajar, the lock jimmied. I step into the garage, the beam shaking in my hand. It's trashed. Boxes tipped over, tools scattered, papers everywhere. But the floorboard's untouched, the lockbox safe. I exhale, my legs wobbly, but the relief doesn't last. Someone was here. Someone knows. I don't tell Mary when she gets home. She's humming, carrying bags of groceries, and I force a smile, helping her unpack. But my mind's racing. I need to be smarter. That night I drive to a hardware store, buy a cheap security camera, $50, all I can afford. I set it up in the garage, angled at the door, and pray it catches something. The next morning I check the footage. It's blurry, but there he is, a man in a dark coat, face hidden, slipping out at 3:14 a.m. My throat tightens. He's real. He's watching me. I can't keep Mary in the dark anymore. Over dinner, her eyes soft with worry, I tell her part of the truth. Mary, Carver's dirty, I say, my voice low. I found proof, fraud, big money. I'm going to fix this for us. Her face pales, her fork clattering on the plate. Jack, what if they hurt you? She whispers. I take her hand, my own trembling. They won't. I'm careful. I promise. I'll make this right. Her trust, that look in her eyes, it's everything. But as I say it, fear gnaws at me. What if I can't? What if I fail her again? Every step outside now feels like a gamble. I'm checking mirrors, locking doors twice, jumping at shadows. The man in the dark coat, he's out there, I know it. Yesterday I saw him across the street, just standing, watching. He's gone before I can get close, but he's real, and he's Carver's. I'm in deeper than I ever planned, but there's no turning back. Sarah's waiting for more evidence. Tom's working on legal protections, and I'm walking a tightrope. Carver's empire is crumbling, but if I slip, it'll bury me first. The air in the house feels thick, like it's pressing down on me. It's been a week since the break-in. A week since I saw that man in the dark coat on my security camera. I'm sitting at the kitchen table, my phone buzzing again with a call from an unknown number. I stare at it, my heart thumping. No voicemail, just heavy breathing on the line when I pick up. I slammed the phone down, my hands shaking. Sarah's story is almost ready. She texted me yesterday, saying her editors greenlit a front-page exposé, but it's not enough. Tom called this morning, his voice tight. The feds are interested, Jack, but they need more. Digital records, emails, something concrete. I know where to find them, Carver's office, but the thought of going back to that factory makes my stomach churn. I'm not sleeping anymore. The lockbox under the garage floorboards is safe, but I check it every night, prying up the splintered wood with a crowbar just to be sure. Mary's noticed I'm off, my eyes bloodshot, my temper short. Last night, I snapped at her over nothing, just a spilled glass of water. Jack, what's wrong with you? She asked, her voice sharp with worry. I wanted to tell her everything, the files, the fraud, the man in the dark coat, but I couldn't. If Carver's people are watching, she's safer not knowing. Her trust is all I've got, and I'm terrified I'll break it. I'm in too deep, and I'm starting to wonder if I'm in over my head. The plan forms like a storm cloud. Carver's office has a computer, one he never let anyone near. If there's proof of his fraud, emails, bank records, it's there. I still have my old key, the one they never took back when they fired me. It's a skeleton key, opens half the doors in the factory. Sneaking in is crazy, but what choice do I have? Sarah's story needs teeth, and the feds need a smoking gun. I wait until midnight when Mary's asleep, her breathing soft in the dark. I grab my jacket, a flashlight, and a USB drive, my heart pounding like a drum. The factory's only a mile away, but it feels like a war zone. The night's cold, the kind that bites through your coat. I park my truck 2 blocks from the factory, in an alley behind a shuttered deli. The streets are quiet, just the hum of a streetlight and the distant bark of a dog. I pull my cap low, my breath fogging in the air, and creep toward the factories. Back gate. The chain-link fence looms, topped with barbed wire, but I know a side door nobody checks. My key turns in the lock, the click loud in the silence. I slip inside, the familiar smell of oil and metal hitting me like a ghost. The factory's dark, machines looming like sleeping giants. I move fast, sticking to the shadows, my flashlight off. Every creak of the floor makes me freeze. Carver's office is upstairs, past the break room and the foreman's desk. I climb the metal stairs, my boots soft as I can make them. My heart's in my throat, every shadow a threat. I reach the office. Door, the glass frosted with his name in gold letters. The key works, thank God, and I'm inside. The room's just as I remember, polished desk, leather chair, a computer glowing faintly. I boot it up, my hands sweaty. No password. Typical Carver arrogance. I plug in the USB, searching for anything. Emails, spreadsheets, bank records. Files pop up, labeled with cryptic codes. BH Trans 2010, Reg Comp 2012. I copy them all, my pulse racing. This is it, the proof. Then I hear it, a low hum like a car engine outside. I duck below the window, peeking through the blinds. Headlights sweep the parking lot. Security. My stomach drops. I yank the USB out, the computer still whirring, and shove it in my pocket. Footsteps echo below, heavy and deliberate. I bolt for the door, my flashlight shaking in my hand. The stairs are too risky now. I find a fire exit, a narrow staircase to the back lot. I'm halfway down when a beam of light cuts through the dark, a guard's flashlight. "Who's there?" he shouts. I don't answer. I run, my truck's too far. I sprint across the lot, my lungs burning, and dive behind a dumpster. The guard's yelling now, radio crackling. A black sedan peels into the lot, tires screeching. It's them, the same car I've seen watching my house. I scramble to my feet, sprinting for the alley. My truck's old, but it roars to life when I turn the key. The sedan's behind me, headlights blinding in my rear view. I floor it, the engine rattling, weaving through side streets. My hands grip the wheel, knuckles white. The sedan's fast, but I know these roads. Every pothole, every turn. I cut through a gas station, nearly clipping a pump, and lose them in a maze of back roads. My heart still pounding when I pull into my driveway, lights off. I'm barely in the house when my phone buzzes again. Unknown number. I answer, my voice a growl. "What do you want?" Just breathing, slow and heavy. Then a click. I slam. The phone down, my hands shaking. I check the USB. It's got the files, hundreds of them. Emails to offshore banks, memos about discreet payments. It's enough to bury Carver. But I'm not safe. Not yet. The next day, I meet Tom at a park, away from prying eyes. He's nervous, his tie crooked. "The feds want those files. Jack," he says, glancing over his shoulder, "but you're poking a hornet's nest. Carver's got people, bad ones." I hand him a copy of the USB, my jaw tight. "Let him come," I say, but my voice shakes. That night I'm walking home from the store when a shadow steps out of an alley, the man in the dark coat. He's tall, face half hidden, eyes cold. "Back off, Jack," he says, voice low. "You don't know what you're messing with." I freeze, my heart hammering. "Who are you?" I ask. He just smiles, thin and sharp, and walks away. Is he bluffing? I don't know, but my blood's ice. Mary's waiting when I get home, her face pale. "You were gone last night," she says, her voice trembling. I snap, my stress boiling over. "I'm handling it, Mary. Just let me." She flinches and I hate myself instantly. I drop to my knees, grabbing her hands. "I'm sorry," I whisper. "I'm trying to fix this, for us." She nods, tears in her eyes, but I see the doubt. I'm pushing her away, and it's killing me. The USB's burning a hole in my pocket, proof of Carver's crimes, but every step I take feels like a step toward a cliff. Am I in over my head? Maybe, but I've got no choice now. Carver's coming for me, and I'm running out of time. The air in the house feels like it's choking me. It's been 2 weeks since I broke into Carver's office, 2 weeks since that man in the dark. Coat told me to back off. My nerves are shot, my eyes gritty from sleepless nights. The USB drive in my pocket feels like a bomb, packed with emails and bank records that could topple Carver Industries. But it's not enough. Not yet. Sarah texted me this morning. Her message short: teaser article drops tomorrow. No names, just hints. Be ready. My heart's racing, but not with hope. It's fear. Carver's closing in, and I'm running out of places to hide. I'm at the kitchen table staring at my phone when it buzzes. Unknown number, again. My hand hovers, my pulse hammering. I hit record on an old app I downloaded just in case. And answer. What? I snap. A familiar voice slithers through, smooth and cold. Jack, it's Robert Carver. My blood freezes. The man himself. You've been busy, he says, like we're old friends. Digging where you shouldn't. Let's make this easy. 100 grand, wired to you today. Walk away, and it's yours. My hands shake, rage boiling up. He thinks he can buy me, after 29 years, after stealing my pension. Go to hell, I growl and hang up. I check the recording. It's clear. Every word. My first piece of leverage. Sarah's article hits the stands at dawn. I grab a copy from the gas station, my hands sweaty. The headlines vague but sharp. Local industry giant faces fraud allegations. No mention of Carver by name, but the details, offshore accounts, fake invoices, are enough to make the company sweat. My phone's blowing up by noon. Tom calls, his voice low. The feds are circling, Jack. They've got your files, but they're asking questions. They need more, something airtight. I clutch the USB, my lifeline. I've got it, I say. Meet me tomorrow, usual spot. But as I hang up, a new fear claws at me. What if the feds aren't on my side? That afternoon, I'm in the garage checking the lockbox under the floorboards for the 100th time. The papers and USB are safe, but I can't shake the feeling I'm being watched. Mary's at the kitchen sink, washing dishes, her shoulders tense. I've been distant, snapping at her, and the guilt's eating me alive. I step inside, ready to say something, when I hear tires screech outside. I peek through the curtains, 3 black SUVs, lights flashing, pulling into our driveway. My stomach drops. Feds. They're here. The doorbell rings, sharp and loud. Mary freezes, her eyes wide. Jack, what's happening? She whispers. I force a calm I don't feel. Stay here, I say, and open the door. 2 agents in suits stand there, badges gleaming. Jack Thompson, we've got a warrant, the taller one says, shoving a paper at me. They push past, tearing through the house, drawers yanked open, cushions tossed. Mary's trembling, clutching my arm. What's this about? I demand. The agent's eyes are cold. Embezzlement. We got a tip you've been siphoning company funds. My heart stops. Embezzlement? It's a setup. Carver's playing dirty. They drag me to the station, cuffing me like a criminal. The interrogation room's small, the fluorescent light buzzing like a wasp. Agent Harris, a guy with a face like stone, leans across the table. We've got bank records, Jack. Transfers to your name. Explain. My mouth's dry. It's a lie, I say. Carver's framing me. I've got proof. Files, emails, a recording of him offering a bribe. Harris raises an eyebrow, skeptical. Where's this proof? I tell him about the lockbox, the USB, Sarah, Tom. He doesn't blink, just scribbles notes. We'll check it out, he says, but his tone says he doesn't believe me. I'm released, no charges yet, but I know it's not over. I get home at dusk, my head pounding. Mary's on the couch, eyes red from crying. They tore up our home, Jack, she says, her voice breaking. What are you doing? I kneel beside her, my throat tight. Carver's crooked, Mary. I've got proof to take him down. I'm so close. She grabs my hands, her grip fierce. Stop, Jack, please. They'll hurt you, or worse. Her fear cuts deeper than anything Carver's done. One last push. I promise, my voice cracking. Then we're free. She nods, but her eyes say she's terrified I'm wrong. That night I'm in the garage, double-checking the lockbox when I smell it. Smoke. My head snaps up. An orange glow flickers through the window. Fire. The garage door's jammed, the handle hot. I grab a rag, wrap it around my hand, and yank. It open. Flames lick the walls, boxes burning like kindling. Arson, I know it. I dive for the floorboard, the heat searing my skin. The crowbars across the room buried under debris. I crawl, coughing, and pry up the board. The lockbox is there, scorched but intact. I clutch it to my chest, stumbling out as the fire roars. Sirens wail in the distance. Someone called it in. I collapse in the yard, Mary running to me, screaming my name. The fire trucks arrive, hoses blasting, but the garage is gone. The lockbox is safe, the USB inside untouched. I don't tell the cops about the arson. Not yet. They're too close to Carver. Instead, I call Tom and Sarah, my voice hoarse. We're ending this, I say. We meet at a motel, the kind with flickering neon and no questions asked. I hand them everything, papers, USB, the bribe recording. Tom's face is grim. This'll do it, he says. The feds'll have to listen. Now! Sarah nods, her eyes fierce. My story goes live tomorrow, full names. Carver's done. I drive home, the lockbox in the passenger seat. Mary's waiting, her face pale but strong. Is it over? She asks. I nod, but my heart's still racing. The feds have the evidence. Sarah's story is breaking, but Carver's not in cuffs. Yet. I'm at the breaking point, torn between hope and dread. I've got one shot left, and if it fails, I lose everything. Mary, our home, our future. But I'm not backing down. Carver's going to pay. The morning Sarah's story breaks. The world feels like it's holding its breath. I'm up before dawn, my hands trembling as I grab the newspaper from the porch. The headline screams across the front page, Carver Industries rocked by massive fraud scandal. Sarah's words are razor sharp. Names, dates, dollar amounts, all pulled from the files I gave her. The USB I risked everything for. Carver's name is there in black and white, tied to offshore accounts, fake invoices, bribed regulators. My heart pounds, not with fear anymore, but with something else. Hope, maybe, or vengeance. I sit at the kitchen table, Mary still asleep, and read every word. It's real, it's happening. Carver's empire is cracking. By noon, the news is everywhere. TV screens in the diner, posts on X, radio chatter, all buzzing about Carver Industries. I'm glued to the local channel, watching choppers circle the factory. Black SUVs swarm the parking lot, just like they did at my house. Feds, they're hauling out boxes, computers, people in cuffs. I see Janet Pierce, the CFO, her face pale as they shove her into a van. Then Carver himself, his suit wrinkled, his smirk gone. He's cuffed, head down as cameras flash. I lean closer to the screen, my pulse racing. He looks small, like a man who knows he's lost. I want to feel triumph, but all I feel is a knot in my chest. This isn't over yet. My phone buzzes. Tom. Jack, it's done, he says, his voice shaky with excitement. The feds have everything. Your files, the USB, the bribe recording. They're arresting half the board. You did it. I try to speak, but my throat's tight. What now? I manage. You're a witness, he says. They'll need you in court. Stay sharp. I hang up, my hands clammy. Court. I knew it was coming, but the thought of facing Carver, looking him in the eye, makes my stomach twist. Mary walks in, her eyes wide as she sees the TV. Jack, is that... I nod, pulling her close. It's over, I say, but the words feel like a lie. The next week is a blur. The feds call me in, not to interrogate this time, but to prep me as a witness. Agent Harris, the stone-faced guy from before, almost cracks a smile. You've got balls, Thompson, he says, flipping through my files. This is airtight. I tell him about the break-in, the fire, the man in the dark coat. He nods, scribbling notes. We're looking into it. Carver had muscle. Contractors, not just suits. Contractors. The word chills me. I think of that alley, that cold voice telling me to back off. I don't tell Mary about that part. She's already scared enough. The courtroom is bigger than I expected. All dark wood and high ceilings. I'm in a suit Tom lent me, too tight at the shoulders, my palms sweaty as I take the stand. Carver's there, across the room, in an orange jumpsuit. His eyes lock on mine, and for a second I see it, rage, but also fear. He's not the king anymore. I swear, under oath, my voice steady as I tell the truth. 29 years at the factory, the firing, the files I found, the fraud I uncovered. The prosecutor plays the recording of Carver's bribe, his slimy voice filling the room. 100. Grand Jack, walk away, the jury gasps. Carver's lawyer objects, but the judge shuts him down. I stare at Carver, and he looks away first. For the first time, I feel like I'm winning, but victory comes with a shadow. 2 days after my testimony, I find a letter slipped under our door. No stamp, no address, just my name in block letters. Inside, a single line. Carver's down, but we're not done. My blood runs cold. I burn the letter in the sink, watching the paper curl and blacken, but the words stick. I tell Tom, who says it's probably a bluff, but I see the worry in his eyes. I don't tell Mary. She's finally smiling again, talking about the lake, house we've dreamed of. Instead, I buy new locks, a better security camera, and a cheap handgun I hide in the closet. I'm always watching my back now, checking the street, listening for footsteps. The settlement comes a month later. The lawyer's office is small, cluttered with papers, but the number on the check makes my head spin. Millions, more than my pension ever would have been. Whistleblower rewards, they call it, plus damages from Carver's frame job. I stare at the zeros, my hands shaking. Mary's beside me, her eyes wide. "Jack, is this real?" she whispers. I nod, my throat tight. "We're free," I say. And this time I almost believe it. We buy the lake house, a small place with a dock, the water sparkling like a promise. We move in, leaving the old house behind, the garage still charred from the fire. Our first night by the lake, Mary's cooking dinner, humming like she used to. I'm on the porch, a beer in my hand, watching the sunset. The air's clean, the world quiet. I should be happy, and part of me is, but the scars linger. I think of Carver's eyes in court, the letters warning, the man in the dark coat I never caught. I rebuilt my bond with Mary, vowing no more secrets. I told her everything, well, almost everything. The letter, the gun, those I keep to myself. She doesn't need that weight. I keep the lockbox, tucked in a safe under the floorboards of our new bedroom. The files, the USB, they're my insurance, just in case. The headlines have faded, Carver's in prison, his empire dust. But that letter haunts me. Someone's out there, maybe watching, waiting. I sip my beer, the lake calm before me, and tell myself it's over. But I check the locks before bed, my hand brushing the gun in the closet. The victory is sweet, but betrayal leaves a mark you can't erase. I won, but I'll never stop looking over my shoulder.